The underlying mission is to knock that horrible disease out of existence.
What drives me to continue on is that we're not done yet.
I know when I leave work every day that I've made a difference.
It's the patients and their families, and what we do is hopefully made their lives a little bit easier.
It's really about the people. It's about how we help people.
His love of the society and what they were doing is why we volunteer today.
And someday, cancer will be cured. I was inspired by Bob Hagen's. We gathered in his front room and decided that something has to be done to reduce leukemia and lymphoma in kids particularly. And the black tie ball was launched in his front room.
It wasn't even a black tie ball at the time. It was just a fundraiser that was kind of a dinner. And it was really a small, compared to what we do today, very disorganized event.
I don't recall what it raised the first year, but it's amazing what it's done now thanks to a lot of generous people.
Bob Hagens is our father. He died in 2012, but was very involved with the Leukemia Society for a long time.
We're very proud this year that Dad is being honored.
Our first ball that we attended was 1991, and we've not missed one since then. I think we've really come a long way. It gets better and better every year.
I became involved first back in 1986, 87. My good friend Bob Llewellyn said to me, "What I want you to do is go to this party, and it'll cost you."
I loved the ball. It was my mom's favorite event. It was my mom's favorite event, and we used to come with her every year.
Probably the first thing I really kind of jumped into, as I recall, was team and training, running marathons and raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And in 1996, I did my first marathon, Cape Cod. Started feeling a little bit lightheaded, so they had me lay on a stretcher and couldn't find my pulse, which was a little concerning, but I survived, so I ended up doing 11 more marathons.
Our dad started in 1987, got involved and did a lot of the celebrity golf tournaments.
I attribute his love of the society and what they were doing as to why we still volunteer today.
Absolutely.
I've been involved with the ball since I started, but probably the craziest thing we did to raise money had to be the gelatin slide.
We climbed a ladder and slid down a slide into the most awful red jello. Was in our eyes, our hair, our nose.
Just 3 years after the start of the black tie ball, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I can relate to those who go through that challenge. It's very difficult, very painful, but it made me understand the importance of an event that would raise money to help people with leukemia and lymphoma, and to, even more importantly, raise money for research.
It's the people I've met along the way that have made the difference. The families, the patients, the friendships. And I wouldn't trade it for anything.
The question of why did I get involved, it goes back to the young man who didn't make it. There was this very bright, sweet little 5-year-old boy who was a leukemia patient. And then 5 years later, when Jeannie and I were chairing the ball for a second time, Jeannie said, well, why don't we get that young kid that was with us 5 years ago? And I suddenly remembered we weren't going to have that little boy with us ever again. He didn't make it. But probably today, because of the activities that we've done over the last 30 years, that little boy would still be with us. And that's how I got involved, and that's why I stay involved.
And to meet these families and the patients, and I can remember, Jared Coons, Allie Connor, Aaron Wilson, and who are no longer with us. But that's why you do it.
We had a nephew, Michael Skinner, after a battle with leukemia and then going into remission and then relapsing, passed away from leukemia. And it was really hard for the family in general. I got involved because I literally didn't know where to take the grief.
What I'm proud of is you can see that the survival rates are increasing, and particularly for childhood leukemia, for adult leukemia, AML in particular, we're still struggling, and that's why it's so important we have events like tonight. We've got to have funds in order to do the research that is necessary to find solutions.
My dream is for a cure. I don't ever want to see patients and families have to go through this. It's a terrible disease.
We're not done yet. When my nephew lost his life, we cured 50% of people with his disease, and now we cure 90%. But we still don't cure 100%.
If you are dealing with cancer, or if you know someone who is dealing with cancer, we ask for your support tonight. We want you to donate, if you possibly can, to help fund research for cures to cancer.